Five times the charm. Welcome to episode 5 of the wrestling of the MetsFan884 Podcast, live here on my YouTube channel. Tonight we will be recapping Raw, NXT, and also giving you my thoughts on who I think is the greatest managers of all time. Okay, Monday Night Raw. Let's be real here, folks. I'm going to get into it real quick and say it was rather forgetful. It was barely anything memorable on Raw at all last Monday night. They basically they had Liv Morgan face Charlotte Flair. A lot of people saying Liv Morgan was buried, but they just want to say people are buried and they lose to Charlotte because they think Charlotte buries people. Charlotte doesn't bury anybody. It was basically one of Liv Morgan's best matches, and Charlotte basically gave Charlotte a good run for her money Monday night. So can we stop saying Charlotte buries people, because she doesn't? We had a big meeting between the contender for the WWE Championship, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. Seth basically dodged a Claymore kick. Doesn't anybody dodge the Claymore kick? You don't want to get Claymore by Drew McIntyre, because basically it almost kicks your head off. The Viking Raiders defeated the Street Profits, which I think should put the Viking Raiders in place for a tag title match. It could happen at Money in the Bank, could happen whenever, anywhere down the road. And I don't know what else happened because it was a complete blur. Monday Night Raw, basically, some people say, spoiled Money in the Bank by advertising that the Money in the Bank winner will be on Raw next week to confront Becky Lynch. You got a lot of people thinking that obviously it's going to be Shayna Baszler. Not exactly definite, you know. This is Vince McMahon we're talking about. He's been known to change his mind like a man changes his underwear. He could basically change the rules of Money in the Bank before the pay-per-view even happens this Sunday and have the winner of the Money in the Bank confront Becky, whether she's from Raw or SmackDown. You never know. It could be anybody. I mean, it did advertise every woman in the match, so you never know. Also, we had the gauntlet match to decide the final Raw competitor in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men's Money in the Bank, won by the phenomenal AJ Styles, who returned to Raw for the first time since being, well, let's be real, buried alive by The Undertaker in the Boneyard match. A lot of people seemed surprised. I was shocked. I didn't know he was going to return. But it was phenomenal to see the phenomenal one back. See what I did there? Wordplay. Brilliant wordplay. Anyway, that happened on Monday night. And also, we got a little glimpse into the future, possibly, as we saw Seth Rollins basically declare himself the next WWE champion. Now, for one, I'm with the majority of wrestling Twitter and IWC. I don't think WWE is going to take the title off Drew this early. He just won the title at WrestleMania not even 30 days ago. They're not going to take the title off him this early in the reign. If they do, Vince McMahon will get so much damn backlash. His office will be flooded with more letters than he's ever gotten since he started running WWE 50-some years ago. So I don't see Drew getting beaten by Seth Sunday night. I'm sorry. I'm giving you one of my Money in the Bank predictions now. I'll give you the rest of them on Friday when I do this next podcast. But I don't think it's going to happen. Tonight on NXT, we're going to start from tonight on NXT. Caden Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux debuted. I didn't see what happened with those two. Maybe anybody under this video who sees this video, either on my channel or on Facebook or Twitter, can fill me in on what happened in that segment, because I didn't see it. I blanked out. I didn't see that, and I didn't see what happened with Britt Baker and Brandy Rhodes on AEW. All I know is Brandy Rhodes got knocked out somehow, and Jake the Snake Roberts put his snake on her. So, I mean his real snake. I don't mean that kind of snake. Get your brains out the gutters. wrestling fans. Because I know some wrestling fans out there are like, oh, no, I'm talking about a snake. He is Jake the Snake Roberts. Remember that. The guy used to carry a snake around all the time. A lot of fans are acting like they never seen him do that before to a woman. This is the same guy who WWE put a snake on Miss Elizabeth. The same guy who sicked a poisonous cobra on Randy Savage. Don't be surprised by anything he does in AEW. The guy is not exactly right in the head. His whole entire gimmick is to do something outrageous. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara won their tag match, which was a no disqualification match. I think it was a street fight. That ended the show. Apparently, Britt Baker attacked Brandy Rhodes. I missed that. Jon Moxley got attacked by the exalted one, Brody Lee. Brody Lee now has possession of the AEW Championship. And apparently it will be Brody Lee versus Jon Moxley at All or Nothing, which is coming up. I don't know what else happened because I was basically switching back and forth, missing this thing here, missing this thing there. But I know NXT gave us Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole. Adam Cole won thanks to help from Undisputed Era. And I hate to say it, but I'm saying it with a smile on my face, and I'm not. And I don't hate to say it at all. Thank God. I'm with the part of Twitter that does not want Velveteen Dream as champion. Okay? Until we find out whether that rumor about him is true or not, we don't want him as champion. Keep the title away from him, as far away from it as possible. Charlotte Flair faced Io Shirai tonight for the NXT Women's Championship. Got herself disqualified. Typical Charlotte. And then attacked Io after the match until it was broken up by the returning Rhea Ripley. Of course, Io Shirai was not happy about Rhea coming out. I think that this is going to either lead to a match between Io and Rhea or a triple threat match between the three for the championship. I don't know if Io's going to win or Rhea, but in my view, it should be Rhea because let's be real, they should have never taken the title off of her at WrestleMania. Regardless of what people want to say the reason was, it should have never happened. Now, to what else we were supposed to talk about on this podcast. Somebody gave me this idea, and thank you to whoever thank you to the wrestling Twitter community for giving me this idea about this podcast. The greatest managers of all time, who I think is the greatest managers of all time. I would like to know who you people think are the greatest managers of all time. You can leave your comments underneath this video when I post it on YouTube. Definitely Bobby the Brain Heenan. The guy took ordinary guys who weren't supposed to be in this sport, made them champions. Guys like Kurt Hennig, Ric Flair. List goes on and on. Jimmy Hart, definitely. The man is smart. Brilliant. Brilliant. I always go back to that beautiful, beautiful mind of his and that big plan he pulled off at Halloween Havoc in 95. That was brilliant. Yeah, it got reversed, but yeah. Bottom line is, it was the most brilliant plan wrestling has ever seen. Oh, and I will preview one more thing upcoming in WWE this week. Friday night on SmackDown, they announced, I think, 2 big matches for SmackDown. It will be, I call them the Mama Bears. Tamina and Lacey Evans against Bayley and Sasha after that brawl last week backstage. Now, in my opinion, and this is what I'm thinking WWE is going to do what they usually do before a pay-per-view and have Tamina pin Bayley. Just say, hey, Tamina pinned the SmackDown Women's Champion. And then have us think that she's going to pin Bayley at Money in the Bank. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe they'll do the WWE thing and make it not happen. Who knows? And we also saw the brawl last week, so that's why that match was signed between those 4. And also a match that's I'm going to be real with you. this match being assigned, this entire storyline hurts me to my wrestling fan core. Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. Why does this hurt? I follow these two all the way back to Tough Enough. And seeing these two basically fight, I know it was going to happen eventually. I know it was meant to happen. I know it was supposed to happen. But I gotta ask, did it have to happen like this? Did it have to be rent on jealousy? Why is every group that breaks up in WWE has to be based on jealousy? Why is it always gotta be about jealousy when a group breaks up in WWE? It's gotta be jealousy or greed. When DX broke up, it was about greed. When Evolution broke up, it was about greed. When The Shield broke up, it was about greed. Riot Squad, now Fire and Desire. I don't get it with Vince and having groups break up about greed. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Also, this past Friday, like I said, Otis qualified for Money in the Bank, so that's going to be huge to see who wins that. A lot of people throwing around predictions left and right. I'll be giving you my predictions on Friday night after SmackDown on my next podcast, episode 6. Now, I also would like to start taking suggestions of what you people want me to talk about on these podcasts other than the week in wrestling. Because I'm thinking about moving these to Facebook or Instagram. I don't know if you guys would prefer me to move these to Facebook or Instagram or keep them here on YouTube. But I'm thinking about moving them to Facebook or Instagram because I'm getting good responses from here on YouTube. But I would think about moving it to a different platform altogether. Maybe, I don't know what you guys think. You might leave your comments under this video or leave it on my Twitter or Instagram account. My Twitter account is MetsFan884. And I ask once again to the Twitter wrestling community, can you please not start any beef on my time, on my notifications, trying to start beef with me, trying to get me suspended, because I'm not gonna participate in any beef at all. I'm still debating on whether I should put my account on private and keep it on private until I get ready to do the podcasts every week. Because I'm not trying to get any beef. I'm not trying to get this account suspended. I'm not getting any beef. It's time us wrestling fans start acting like grown adults and stop trying to start beef over random stuff. I had to talk one of my Twitter followers into not leaving Twitter last night because people can't stand. She made a little joke about Becky Lynch. Wrestling fans are too damn sensitive about a sport that is scripted. We know Becky Lynch is women's champion. We're happy Becky Lynch is champion. Because somebody makes a Becky no belts joke, y'all gonna jump on their throat? Come on. Grow up. Y'all acting really oversensitive about a title reign on a scripted wrestling show. She made one joke about Becky no belts and bam, y'all jump on her for what? Because y'all can't take a joke? And please don't come after me for saying this. I'm standing up for one of my followers. Y'all would do the same thing. Stop getting oversensitive about wrestling. It makes wrestling Twitter not fun. I can see if you're like best friends with the wrestler, but you're not best friends with them. You're fans. And getting oversensitive or trying to start beef with someone over an opinion, it just makes them look dumb. And then by them, I mean the wrestler themselves. I'm quite sure Becky Lynch knows people are going to joke about the Becky no belts thing. It's not a big deal. Grow up. It's wrestling. I actually suggested on Twitter, and I don't know if wrestling Twitter will agree with me on this. When wrestling's not on, all of wrestling Twitter, take a break. Take that day off. Don't even go on Twitter. Go on Twitter on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays when wrestling is on. Do not go on Twitter on Thursdays or Saturdays when wrestling is not on. And the occasional Sunday when wrestling is not on. Because all y'all do when y'all go on when wrestling's not on is either do that wrestling Twitter after dark garbage, or y'all try to start beef with other wrestling fans. We're supposed to be a wrestling community based on the fact that we're all wrestling fans, not because we want to start beef with each other just to get each other irked up, to get our accounts suspended. That's why Twitter is so poisoned. That's why people are going on Facebook. That's why Facebook is becoming better than Twitter. It's a damn shame that Facebook has been out longer than Twitter, and it's becoming the place to be for wrestling fans because Twitter is becoming poison. Let opinions be opinions. There's an old saying, opinions are like asses. Everybody got one. Let it be. We don't have to all like the same wrestlers. Wrestling Twitter will be boring as hell if we all did. It would be boring as hell if we all liked the same person. People don't like my faves. I'm perfectly okay with that. Your opinion is appreciated by me. Once I say I appreciate your opinion, let it go, move on. Don't keep trying to drive your opinion home to me because you're trying to get me mad. I'm not going to do it anymore. You'll just get blocked. I have come to the realization after all my years on Twitter that after all the faves I've had, not everybody's going to like them. Not everybody on Twitter likes Lacey Evans. That's okay with me. That's fine. Fine by me. Not everybody started out liking Melina when she first came to the sport. But she gained the respect as the years went on. It's going to take a while for Lacey to get to that point. But if you want to come with a reason to hate a wrestler, come up with a legit reason to do it. Don't come up with a reason because something you saw on TV or something you try to think is true off of some clickbait news site. Like people thought that clickbait about Roman Reigns being erased from WWE was true. Really? Really? The reason why they didn't show Roman last Monday night in the Money in the Bank thing is because they're trying to build up Seth Rollins for Sunday. They're trying to make Seth Rollins look good for his match with Drew on Sunday. They didn't need to advertise Roman in that moment. They didn't cut Roman's not being erased from WWE history. The guy is still on the SmackDown entrance. He's still advertised on WWEshop.com commercials. The guy has not been erased. Stop the BS. Other than Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns is still one of Vince's boys. He's not going to be erased. Y'all believe in everything y'all read on dirt sites and websites like y'all believe that I hate Sasha because I don't talk about her as much as y'all do. Proof right here, don't hate Sasha. Okay? So let's cut the crap trying to turn wrestling Twitter into this poisonous wasteland of let's get this person suspended because they have a different opinion from me. That's garbage. This world would suck like hell if we all had the same opinion. I don't care if it's about wrestling, politics, music, whatever. This world would suck if we all had the same opinion. One of the things that make this world so great is that we all have different opinions. We all like different wrestlers. We all like different sports and all that stuff. There's no sense in us all liking the same stuff. It makes it boring. It makes it really boring. And it makes Twitter not as good as it's supposed to be. You have wrestling fans on Twitter actually begging to go to Facebook. Begging. And here's the funny part. Twitter doesn't do anything about them. Twitter doesn't do anything about the people who hack other people's accounts and stuff. They don't do nothing about it. The good accounts get suspended while the hackers get slack, and it's not fair. When Twitter gets good and ready to, they stop working. It'll get to the point eventually, and I just read something on Twitter now where Twitter is going to start penalizing people for cursing on Twitter. I'm perfectly okay with not using adult language, okay? But what next, Twitter? We can't breathe. Just another way Twitter's going to chase people to Facebook because they don't have the freedom to say what they want. But wrestling fans, let's cut the crap trying to get people suspended or blocked. If you have a different opinion from someone, here's an easy part. There's a block button. There's a mute button. Use them. Don't argue back and forth because it basically wastes your time and ours. Wrestling would suck like hell if we all liked the same person. Some people have to have different opinions. That's the way it goes. We can't all have the same opinion. That just makes it boring, dull, and not as fun as it's supposed to be. Wrestling is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to be a wrestling community. We are the fans that are outside of wrestling events. Every time there's a big event like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam here in Brooklyn, that are doing wrestling matches on the pavement outside. What happened to that? Instead, we are jumping on social media, attacking people like y'all attacked my Twitter follower because she said a joke about Becky Lynch. It was a joke, okay? It was a damn joke. Grow up. Not everything somebody says about Becky is supposed to be taken seriously. It's a joke. I'm quite sure, majority of my followers, including her, have the utmost respect for Becky Lynch. We all do. This is a woman who busted her ass for years to get to where she is right now. But because somebody makes a joke, you're going to try to get her chased off Twitter by bullying her? Come on. It's the bullying stuff that makes Twitter not fun anymore. And Twitter really needs to start busting down on these bullies because it's really getting annoying at this point. It's really getting annoying. Oh yeah, and Shayna Baszler, if you see this video, follow my follower at Team Shayna. She wants a follow from you. But like I told her last night, you don't get a follow on Twitter right away. You gotta wait. I know some of y'all out there are gonna say, oh, but you got followed by Lacey Evans 4 times. It's not like I got followed by Lacey as soon as I made the accounts. All the accounts I made where I was followed by Lacey, including this one, I had to wait. These wrestlers don't just sit on Twitter waiting for people to request follows. They got things to do. They got families, touring families, contract autograph signings and stuff. They don't just sit on Twitter, even though there's a coronavirus going around. They don't just sit on some social media waiting for people to request follows. You got to be patient. You got to be patient or ask nicely and wait. Everybody I was followed by, Lacey, Cena, Eric Bischoff, I asked, I waited. And like somebody once told me, getting followed is not a big deal. It is not a big deal. You get followed by them, half the time they're not going to see your tweets anyway. You know how many people request these wrestlers to follow them on a given day? You know how many people request Lacey to follow them on a given day? Or Vince Russo? Or Shayna Baszler? Or Becky Lynch? These wrestlers get like 50, 60, 70, 80, probably 90 or 100,000 follow requests a day. They don't have time to read everybody's follow requests. So you want them to follow you, you gotta be patient. You gotta wait. Y'all telling me to wait on Lacey to become a champion, but y'all can't even wait for a wrestler to follow you on Twitter. I would rather just be a fan of a wrestler than have them follow me on Twitter. Does that mean I don't appreciate my follows from Lacey, Eric Bischoff, and Sergeant Slaughter and John Cena? No. I appreciate the hell out of them. But if they didn't follow me, would that make me any less of a fan of theirs? No. Eric Bischoff's a damn genius. Lacey Evans I still think is the future of this business. Sergeant Slaughter is a fucking legend. John Cena, greatest of all time. I'm not gonna hate them because they don't follow me. And speaking of not following me, if you followed me and you unfollowed me because my wrestling factoids are too much for you, I'm sorry I try to educate you. I'm real sorry I try to give out some education on people who don't know who a lot of people, because there's not that many people on Twitter who knows the background of this stuff. Not everybody on Twitter has been watching this sport 15, 20, 25, 30 years like the rest of us. Some of them are new. Some of them need these factoids. If you find my factoids annoying, mute me. Don't come up with some lame excuse to unfollow me talking about all my tweets are flooding up your timeline. You can mute me. Don't just follow me to follow me, then unfollow me saying some lame excuse, or follow me and unfollow me saying, or follow me and then unfollow me just to get your numbers up. I don't need that. I'm going to stand up for those who follow me. I'm not going to worry about following numbers because worrying about followers makes Twitter not fun anymore. But yeah. If you're going to follow me, follow me. If you're not going to follow me, don't waste your time or mine. I can be talking to my other followers on Twitter and not worrying about checking my followers every 5 seconds, wondering about who unfollowed me. I got 840 some followers. If one person follows me, unfollows me, I still got 800 and something to worry about. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm not going to worry about people trying to start beef with me because I'm not trying to start beef with you. If I'm not coming at you with beef, don't come at me trying to start beef because it just makes both of us look stupid. This is wrestling. It's a sport. It's scripted. We are allowed to have different opinions. It's not like we have to have the same opinion all the time. Probably still a lot of people out there on Twitter who think I hate Sasha. Bam. Need any more proof that I don't? If you need any more proof that I don't, watch my first podcast. People out there used to think I hate Becky Lynch. No. Never hated Becky Lynch. Never hated Sasha. If I hate a wrestler, I come out and say I hate him. I don't just hate him just to hate him. I'm not like some of these wrestling fans on social media that hates a wrestler just for some stupid reason. You gotta give me a legit reason to actually hate you. These men and women bust their asses for us 300 days a year. Really shouldn't hate anybody. With this virus going around, even using the word hate should be a censorship. People are dying every day in the world. We're using the word hate to describe wrestlers. We're turning on each other on Twitter and social media. Why? For different opinions? Really? Like I said last night on Twitter, pretend like every day in wrestling Twitter is your last day. Have fun with wrestling. That's what wrestling is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be, oh, let's get this person suspended because they have a different opinion from mine. Oh, let's take a tweet not meaning to be serious seriously. Oh, let's take a tweet that's not meaning to be one thing and make it look like another thing. Come on. Because y'all really making Twitter not fun, and y'all chasing everybody to Facebook, and y'all making people leave the wrestling Twitter community. I had to talk to people out leaving the wrestling community last night, and I almost got a headache from it. I got invited to a good wrestling group on Facebook. Follow my follower Versace Stone. He'll tell you about the group he invited me to that I joined last night on Facebook for all my wrestling fan Twitter followers on Twitter who has Facebook. It'll be a good wrestling group for us to join where we want to deal with the BS we deal with on Twitter. Because people on Facebook wrestling groups are actually mature. They're not going to come at you for having a different opinion or liking someone else because they don't like them. You don't like Lacey Evans? Fine by me. Keep your hate off my timeline. I don't care if you don't like her. It ain't going to change my opinion. That's like I'm not going to try to change yours. You want to still think I hate Sasha? Your opinion means basically your opinion. I ain't never said, and you could ask some of my most loyal followers who've known me since day one, I have never once said I hated Sasha Banks. Never. Out loud or on Twitter. Hell, I still like Bayley. Using the word hate to even describe a wrestler makes you look bad because these people put their asses on the line for 300 days a year, especially during this pandemic, because they really don't have to do it. They could sit their asses at home just like every other sport's doing right now and not do anything. I'll be posting this on my Twitter account. I want your opinions on what I said. Same thing for my Facebook. Same thing for my Instagram. Same thing for my YouTube. Oh yeah, special message out to Britt Baker. If you see this, I know you won't see this because you probably don't see my tweets. Please follow me on Twitter at MetsFan884. I know I'm probably not worthy of a follow, but hell, I'm patient enough to wait. If you don't follow me, I'm not gonna not be a fan of yours. Always been a fan. I don't really base my fanship of wrestlers on whether they follow me on Twitter or not. I was followed by Trish Stratus on a Twitter account. Still a fan of hers, even though I don't have the follow. Melina, I met her back in October last year. Found out why she doesn't follow fans on Twitter. Still a fan. I met Rikishi last year. He doesn't follow me on Twitter, although I would like him to. Met Charlotte Flair last year. She doesn't follow me on Twitter. Understandable. You don't have to worry about a wrestler following you on Twitter. A follow is just what? A follow? An extra number on your follower numbers? That's all it is. And half the time they're not going to communicate with you because they're busy. Somebody said it once to me on Twitter. That cameo video I got from Lacey Evans is more precious than a follow. Because a cameo video from a wrestler is them talking to us personally. Us. Nobody else. Us. I treasure the hell out of that cameo video I got from Lacey last December. That's why it's posted on my Twitter as well. It's not posted on my current Twitter account. I'm going to post it on and leave it up But that cameo means more to me than all 4 times she's followed me on Twitter. Just like that picture I took with Melina in October. That means more to me than anything. I want to know also underneath this video, Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday. As I said on Twitter last night, this year will mark 19 years since I lost my mom back in June of 2001. That's another reason why I'm trying to keep this Twitter account alive. I think of Twitter, even though most of y'all probably still hate me, I think of Twitter as a second family. Wrestling has been my escape from basically, let's be real here, I went through a lot of feelings when I first lost my mom. Depression, a lot of other stuff. I don't know how many of y'all actually went through that before, but yeah. I would like to know if any of y'all went through that. Y'all can leave y'all messages under this video as well. But Mother's Day is coming up. For those of you who have mothers, for all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. In case I don't get to wish y'all that on my Friday podcast. Treasure your moms out there, those of you who have them. Because you never know when you're going to lose them. Never know. This is not MetsFan884 talking. This is me. As a person talking. I didn't see my mom before she died, okay? If I seem a little rude on Twitter at times, it's because, hey, you gotta get respect to give respect. I respect the hell out of everybody on Twitter. I don't mean to come at people sideways, but yeah. If I ever came at anybody sideways in any of my past accounts, once again, I'm apologizing. I don't know if you're going to accept it. I've been apologizing since day one. But with Mother's Day coming up and what's going on in the world right now, we really don't need the BS. That's my bottom line of this entire podcast. We don't need the BS about wrestling. We don't need coming at each other about opinions. Because we never know if we're even going to wake up to be on Twitter tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to wake up to be on Twitter tomorrow. We don't even know if we're going to even make it to Money in the Bank Sunday. God at any moment can say, lights out. You never know. Treasure every moment you have, whether it's on Twitter, wrestling Twitter, or in your life as general.